Welcome to this lecture on the principle of immunology. Today, we are diving into the consequences of complement activation. Imagine your body is a highly fortified castle under siege by invisible bacterial invaders. The complement system acts as a sophisticated network of automated booby traps laid out across your bloodstream. When an invader steps on one of these traps, it sets off a massive, coordinated counterattack. By the end of this lesson, you will perfectly understand exactly how these automated defenses destroy the enemy, alert the guards, and clean up the battlefield. Now that we have pictured our immune system as a fortified castle, let us look at the complement cascade itself. Why does this matter? Because without it, our white blood cells would struggle to locate and grip slippery bacteria. The complement system is a series of proteins that circulate in your blood. When they detect an invader, they activate in a domino effect. This is not just a single event. It is a massive, coordinated biological counterattack that drastically alters the battlefield in favor of your immune system. This massive counterattack leads us to the core of our topic. Once the complement protein cascade is triggered, it ultimately leads to four primary biological outcomes. These are cell lysis, opsonization, inflammation, and immune clearance. Each of these consequences plays a unique and vital role. Some directly attack the bacteria, while others act as support mechanisms to help the rest of your immune system do its job more effectively. We will now break down each of these four consequences to understand exactly how they protect you. Let us examine the first and most aggressive direct attack on the pathogen, cell lysis. During the cascade, late-stage complement proteins begin to assemble directly on the surface of the invading bacterium. They form a cylindrical structure known as the membrane attack complex. Think of this complex as a microscopic drill. It physically punches holes right through the pathogen's protective outer lipid bilayer. Because the inside of the bacterium is highly concentrated, water rapidly rushes in through these pores, causing the bacterial cell to swell and violently burst. The second major consequence is opsonization. Why is this necessary? Because many dangerous bacteria have slippery outer capsules that make them incredibly hard for your immune cells to catch. Opsonization solves this mechanical problem by coating the pathogen with specific protein fragments. The most important of these is the complement fragment C3b. When C3b binds to the bacterial surface, it acts like a molecular handle. This coating makes the slippery bacteria highly attractive and very easy to grip for your phagocytic cells, allowing them to quickly engulf and destroy the threat. While the bacteria are being drilled and coated, the complement system is also calling for backup. This brings us to our third and fourth consequences, inflammation and immune clearance. During the cascade, smaller protein fragments called anaphylactotoxins are released. They diffuse away from the battle site and trigger localized inflammation. This dilates your blood vessels, allowing a swarm of new white blood cells to rush into the infected tissue. Finally, once the battle is won, the battlefield must be cleaned. Other complement components bind to the neutralized immune complexes and safely transport them to the spleen and liver for safe disposal. Before we move on to the clinical and mathematical aspects, let us see this with a concrete visual example. Here, we see a diagram illustrating the three major local effects we just discussed. On the far left, notice the membrane attack complex inserted into the bacterial wall, allowing water to rush in and cause cell lysis. In the middle, you can see opsonization in action. The bacterium is coated with C3b, allowing the large green macrophage to easily engulf it. Finally, on the right, observe how the small C3a and C5a fragments cause the red blood vessel to dilate, attracting those purple immune cells to the site of infection. This perfectly summarizes the local battlefield. Now that we have visualized these mechanisms, we must ask, what happens when this system fails? Understanding these consequences is absolutely critical in real-world clinical medicine. They represent our primary mechanism for eliminating extracellular pathogens. Patients with genetic deficiencies in specific complement proteins suffer from severe, recurrent infections. For example, individuals who cannot form the membrane attack complex are uniquely susceptible to a dangerous bacterium that causes meningitis. Furthermore, doctors routinely measure complement activity in the blood to diagnose and monitor autoimmune diseases like lupus. This makes our understanding of the complement system highly practical for saving lives. This biological understanding leads us to an important question. Can we predict how effective this attack will be? While immunology is often descriptive, we can use mathematical models to understand the efficiency of cell lysis. This formula represents an exponential saturation function. The variable L is the probability of cell lysis. It depends on N, which is the number of pores punched into the membrane, and K, which is the resistance constant of the bacterium. As the number of pores, N, increases, the negative exponent grows larger. This causes the exponential term to shrink, which ultimately drives the lysis probability, L, closer and closer to a guaranteed 100%. Now that we have our formula, let us apply this concept to a real-world scenario. Suppose laboratory tests show a bacterial strain has a resistance constant of 20 pores. During an immune response, 50 pores are deposited on a single cell. We need to calculate the exact probability of destruction. We start by substituting our given values into the exponential saturation model. The number of pores is 50, and the resistance is 20. Dividing these gives a negative exponent of 2.5. Evaluating Euler's number to the power of negative 2.5 gives 0.082, which is the survival chance. Subtracting this from 1 gives our final answer of 0.918. Physically, this means there is a 91.8% chance the cell is destroyed. So we have successfully used the formula to find the probability of lysis. This brings us to a more complex scenario for a medical researcher. Imagine you are developing a treatment against a highly resistant superbug with a resistance constant of 40. You need to guarantee a 99% kill rate. We are working backward from a desired biological outcome to find the required biological input, which is the number of pores. We set our target probability to 0.99 on the left and insert our resistance of 40 on the right. Our immediate goal is to isolate the exponential term. By subtracting 0.99 from 1, we find that the exponential term must equal 0.01, representing the strict 1% survival chance we are allowing. Now that we have isolated the exponential term, we must extract our variable from the exponent. To do this, we apply the natural logarithm to both sides. Because the natural logarithm and Euler's number are inverse functions, they cancel each other out on the left side, bringing our exponent down to the baseline. On the right side, the natural logarithm of 0.01 is approximately negative 4.605. The negative signs naturally cancel out. Finally, we multiply both sides by 40 to get 184.2. Since we cannot have a fraction of a pore, the immune system must form at least 185 pores. This proves exactly why the complement cascade must rapidly multiply its output to destroy highly resistant bacteria. We have covered a lot of ground today, so let us review the key takeaways. First, the complement system is a vital bridge in your immunity that executes four major biological consequences. It directly kills pathogens through cell lysis, paints targets through opsonization, triggers inflammation, and clears toxic complexes. Second, we learned that these biological mechanisms can be quantified. By using an exponential saturation model, we can calculate the exact probability of cell lysis. Finally, we proved mathematically that highly resistant bacteria require a massively amplified complement response to be destroyed. You now have a complete and masterful grasp of how complement activation protects the human body. Great job!